What's poppin'? It's your boy Because Beats and GTS Movement Council. Today we are about to start this webinar and get everything popped off. Before we get started, everybody introduce yourselves.
What's up, guys? Travis with T Customs Productions. Happy to be here.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy KC. Happy to be here.
What's good, everyone? It's your boy Chrisio. Happy to be here too.
That's what's up. So if you guys haven't seen the title for today's webinar is the 2 things every producer needs to have to sell beats online. And it may surprise you what our answer is, but the actual answer is you need to have mistakes and you need to have mentors. And we're going to get into a lot of the mistakes that we've made personally and mistakes that we see other producers making online and why you should correct them and why they're hurting your business. And then we're going to get into the mentors that we follow and people that we kind of model our marketing after. And so we success, and you can obviously model those same people. So as far as mistakes go, I guess I'll start with the one that I guess we've all done is spamming. I know when I first started, man, I spammed groups. I spammed my Facebook wall. I spammed MySpace. I spammed everywhere I could put my link at. I put it, and I didn't sell any beats. And it was slow because spamming just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It pisses people off.
And it's worse now that people are even more jaded to it. It's like you could still get away with it somewhat back in the day. It's like goes back to the saying marketers kill everything, and it's, you know, when people know that it comes across like spammy, that's when people really get turned off. So I think especially now in 2014, there's no chance. The spamming just isn't even worth your time, really.
Like I know for what I can say, you know, since I'm on, I mean, I can say this for Facebook, it's so bad. People spam their own wall to where it looks like all you see is the same post all day long on their wall. And you see the same result on their wall. There's nobody clicking the link. There's nobody liking it. There's nobody commenting on it. And that's your own wall. But in groups, it's just a fucking spam fest. Like, everybody just posting, nobody interacting with anything, and doing it consistently. Like every single day you wake up, you hit 30 groups with the same link and get no reaction, and then do it again multiple times throughout the day. Like,
yeah, it goes back to what we talked about before. Is like people don't want to be sold. They want to make a decision on their own to buy, and so that's why the native ads, like we've talked about, a lot of stuff we've probably talked about before, but that's why it's so important. It's like you can bring people in and attract them into what you're doing through a native ad or through something that's interactive and engaging, and then let them make the decision on their own that they want to buy from you, and not just come up with these salesy ads that people are populating. And then it makes it even worse when you start mentioning a slew of people that you don't know. And like I said, we've all done it, and that's why it's part of this webinar, because we've all been through that. But we analyzed it and we said, you know, this isn't working. Okay, now what can I do differently? And then so we start to educate ourselves on how real marketers market, and so we just apply that to the music game.
And just think of how much time you waste. Like, it's not effective. Even if tagging was kind of effective, first of all, if you're on Facebook, you can only have, a limit of 2,000 friends? 2,000, I think? Or is it 5,000?
5.
So 5,000 is a nice group of people, but you can't tag 5,000 people in a post, let alone spend all day spamming your link to them. So it's very inefficient. You can be spending your time doing other things. Like, there's other more effective ways to market than just tagging, for one. And it becomes background noise. First of all, you got to think about it for yourself. Are you interacting with people that actually spam on your link or in those groups? Probably not, because you're too busy just posting your link and then you're on to the next group. You're not interacting. So think about what you're doing. If it's working, then do what's working that you're doing, that you're engaging with, instead of just doing what you think is working and that's not getting results.
That's what I would say. That would be my point, is like, because sometimes there's confusion on what spam is and what spam isn't. And so people are like, well, this is marketing. Just like do whatever's working. Like if you're getting results from it, just continue it. You know, if it's actually getting you legitimate results, then use that as a way to gauge what you're doing, because spamming doesn't work. So if you are spamming, you're not going to be seeing the results from it. So that's what I would say. Just gauge what results you're getting and kind of adapt from that.
To kind of give you an idea of what's working, if you spam, if you put a link up and you tag 70 people in it, and you only get 2 likes, and they pop up as soon as you put that link up, number one, those people did not listen to whatever it is you posted. That's number one. And number two, the other 68 people are pissed off because they pulled out their phone because they got a message. They went to their phone to see what? Your link again. Like, and it turns people off. I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to start getting people complaining and reporting you for spam.
Yeah, we've talked about that. I don't want to keep rehashing this. Unless you guys got any points on spam, I think people get it. I think the major confusion is like what spam is and what it isn't. But just gauge it based on what results you're getting, and you'll be able to know, because people don't respond to spam. If you're getting a response, then maybe what you're doing is working. For me, another mistake was not building my email list early on. Starting early on, I was fortunate enough. I don't remember how I learned this, just me doing my own research online. I did start earlier than most people that have started a music business and things. Probably started my list back in at 2009. I started in 2006, and you always go through the transition of creating the music and maybe getting your first website up, and you're constantly learning and applying things. But I think probably 2009 is where I had my first email, official, like MailChimp at that time, or whatever I was using to actually bring emails in. And had I started that from day one, my list would obviously be a lot bigger now. But that's something that I see a lot of producers, artists, entrepreneur, well, a lot of marketers are up to speed on this. I think it's more in probably the music niche. It's like we see a lot of, in the music, independent music niche, we see a lot of people that don't, learn from what marketing strategies are actually working for actual internet marketers and for entrepreneurs. There's strategies that are being applied in other niches and fields that aren't necessarily being translated into what we're doing. For whatever reason, people don't, aren't doing these. But the list is an asset, right? Your list, if you strip everything else away, Chaz mentioned this before in one of our past webinars, if you strip everything else away, your website, your following, you have an email list. And you can still communicate with your fans. You can still communicate with people, past customers. So starting that early is going to only help you long term.
I know I started my first list in 2000. Actually, I started selling beats online in 2006, and then I didn't start a list until late 2009, 2010. And this is just like you said, man, if I would have started that list from the beginning, I'd have a lot more people subscribed to my list. But I think the main thing is, well, like what I see with a lot of people in music, I know like offline, I used to do a lot of shows, and I would start a mailing list offline. That's the only reason why I even thought about it, is because when I used to go to shows, any show I went to, I would make a mailing list. I'd sell a CD or give out a CD, like, yo, join my mailing list, and I just write down the people's email on a piece of paper. Offline, I knew what to do. Online, I don't know why I didn't connect until 3 years later, like, oh, why don't you start an email list? But when it did, my business went up because I can contact those people whenever I need to contact those people. I can promote products, I can promote videos, I can promote whatever it is I'm trying to get across. They asked me, they actually gave me permission to market to them once they gave me that email address. I mean, literally, most of you guys, if you're not subscribed to this channel, you got to this video from signing up to one of our email lists. That's why you're watching this, because you opted into a list to see these videos. And you can do the same thing with your beats.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the thing I love most about having an email list is it's like once you've nurtured your list and things like that, is especially like if you've got something new that you want people to check out, or you're promoting something, you're in a sense you're kind of guaranteed traffic that way. It's like you can put something out and let your list know, and they're usually the first people that will actually go and check it out if you've got that kind of relationship with them. I mean, just think about if you don't have a list, all the traffic that you're driving to your website, and you don't know who it's coming from, you don't know who these people are, and they may never come back to your site, you know, because you're sending them to your beats or whatever, and they might not buy from your page the first time. And how are you going to be able to get them to come back and actually speak to them and find out why they didn't buy? Maybe they weren't sure about something, or they wanted to know who they were buying from. And without a list, you're kind of missing that out. So, it's like like what you guys said. You know, if you started your list from earlier, the amount of people that we've all potentially missed out on because we didn't have a list earlier.
Fortunately for me, I joined the Young GTS movement. I got that set up the first day. But the thing with mailing lists too is on social media there's algorithms. There's things that limit your reach. Facebook, it's only about a 16% reach if you post something. With the mailing list, it's depending on your provider. Sometimes the delivery rates can be bad if you're doing free services and stuff. But it's 100% reach as long as they check their emails. Like, your email will be delivered to 100% of the people. On social medias and other websites, that's not always the case. And if you have a nice list, then you know it's 100%. Like I said, it's 100% guaranteed to reach them. And if they open, then you have that traffic.
Right.
And another thing I know Chris was talking about building that relationship. Like, I know personally what my relationship with my list is like. There are artists that are on my list that buy from me with every project that they do. I got a it's not a big list. I have about, I don't know, almost 3,000 artists on there, and I get sales every day simply because of that list. Because the people that buy from me, they automatically get discounts from me. So whenever they want something, they don't even have to contact me to get anything. They know they have their own discount code because they're my regular clients. So they go straight to my page, they buy beats and use their discount. And you can't build that kind of relationship with people if you don't have a list. I mean, when people talk about, oh, I sell beats in my sleep, or I'm selling beats on autopilot, it's because they built a list and they're interacting with that list.
Yeah. Travis is probably going to touch on this character I'm about to describe, but he's a very, very good entrepreneur. He's a very successful producer / artist, and he says it from the start. He doesn't like iTunes because of their privacy policy. If someone buys his album, he wants to go and personally thank them and say, hey, I appreciate you. On all of his videos on YouTube, he has his number. Say, hey, hit me up in a text. I answer all my texts. He wants to connect with his fans because, honestly, they drive your business. Like,
he's big on owning, like he said, owning the relationship. When you distribute through iTunes, he said he contacted iTunes. He sold X amount of his projects on, but with their privacy policy, he doesn't have access to that information. And being the smart, entrepreneur and music artist producer that he is, he knows the power in that relationship through the email and the phone number, so he can actually contact those people. That's why he started his own distribution service. That's why he started, and he's got certain independent artists that are now jumping onto that. We're speaking on Ryan Leslie. He's brilliant. I mean, he's if you guys want getting into our mentors, go ahead and start. I'll just mention this one right now, but Ryan Leslie is, as far as independent artists and producers that you want to follow everything that this guy's doing. He's a brilliant musician. He's a brilliant artist, a singer, songwriter, and his entrepreneur skills are unparalleled. I mean, he's doing it. So, I mean, Ryan Leslie has always been, I mean, he started on YouTube in like 2006, I think, and he was one of kind of those early pioneers drawing people in. Well, before that was MySpace. He's actually, there's a whole like really good interview or presentation that he did where he talks about a lot of stuff. He talks about his progression from Harvard. He graduated Harvard or started Harvard at like 16 or something. I mean, come on, man. It's like an Ivy League school at 16 years old. I mean, these are the kind of people that we want to follow and really understand their mind and what their process is and who their influences are and how they're operating business. I mean, these are the people that we really want to dig into and model after.
So, yeah, if he's trying to connect with his fans and he's doing it through email and through phone, then if you're not, it's a mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, think about it from this standpoint. Like, if you get someone's email address, you get someone's phone number, or you're a fan of someone, and you buy his product, and he calls you to thank you for buying his product, guess what that does for you? You're like, oh, okay, now you're going to buy something else from that person. If you buy a drum kit from someone, and they call you up and say, yo, man, I want to thank you for buying that kit, he's creating that connection, and to you as a customer, you feel like, oh, he actually, you know what I mean, he reached out. And that's all it is you reaching out and you building a relationship with the people that are supporting you.
Yeah.
And the more people that you reach out to, the longer your clients are going to stay around, man. And that's what it's about. It's not about getting new clients every day. That's the thing with the list. It's not about you having to get clients every day. It's about you nurturing that list and having those clients come back to you every single time. You can have a customer buy one beat, or you can have a client buy multiple beats off you every single time they want to drop a product.
And it's a lot cheaper to keep a recurring client than it is to attain a new customer. It's a lot from a marketing standpoint, and actually acquiring that new customer, it's magnitude more expensive to acquire that initial customer than to turn a customer into a client long term.
And also, I used to do sales when I was like in college, and I learned something that how good you are, how bad you are with a customer determines how much money you're going to make. So if you have a good client, that client's going to reach out and tell 3 people about you. If you have a bad client or you treat somebody shitty, they're going to reach out to 3 people and tell them how bad you are. And that, if someone comes to buy from you and they already got a bad representation, and you give them anything that's slightly off, guess what they're going to do? They're going to tell 3 other people. So it's all about being genuine with your clientele and building that relationship. So if you got people out there vouching for you, somebody buys a beat from you, you reach out to them and you say, yo, can you shoot me a testimonial video? If you're reaching out to them and they shoot a testimonial video, you can post that video on your wall, and that's someone validating you as a producer. So it's not you saying that I'm a dope producer or not, and I'm great with my customers. It's your customer speaking for you, and that speaks volumes to other artists.
Yeah, that's one thing I'll say. Testimonials, as you're talking about testimonials, I didn't start testimonials until later on, but if you have artists that you work with, producers that you work with, anybody who can vouch for you, who can shoot you either a video testimonial or even just a written testimonial. That way you give them credit, you can link back to their site. It's going to help you. It's going to help you increase your sales. And it's also, if it doesn't help you increase your sales, it's going to help you just validate. If people don't know you, they're going to be able to go and look at testimonials and say, oh, okay, I see this person is, he's got a clientele, he's working with these people have praise to say about him or whatever. So that was a mistake for me, was not doing testimonials early on with my business.
All right, I guess we want to talk about professionalism on social media.
Or anywhere. On your mailing list, on your website, on your blog.
In general. I mean, you guys can pop it off. You guys have started off, but
I mean, if you want to be seen as a serious producer and not just someone that makes beats, or you got to act professional. You just got to act professional. If you walk into a business and a whole bunch of people are acting unprofessional, it kind of turns you off to that business. You probably don't go there anymore. And it's the same with online. It's the same with anything you're doing. I see a lot of people on Facebook and on social medias, they shorten up a whole bunch of words. It's really, if you're writing thanks, write the extra KS. It's not that much harder. You look more professional. I'm not saying that you can't use slang because we have to talk to our prospect the way that they normally talk to each other, but don't overuse it. Be conscious of what you're posting, because it might turn people off to your business if they see something crazy, absurd on your page. They're like, whoa, I have a bad feeling about this dude. And especially if it's their first, you gotta think of your new prospects. When they come to your fan page, and if you post something crazy and obscure on that, and that's the first thing they see, they're instantly gone, and you lost the client.
First impression is you can't recoup that. The first impression, once you've made that, is, and that goes into like tying into like having a professional website too. It's like handling yourself in a professional manner, but then having, like, if somebody lands on your site, having something that's presented in a professional manner, it's easy to use, something that it's a first-time impression, they get a good first-time impression of you. And so then maybe they'll see you again later. Maybe they'll even opt into your list there. But your professionalism carries on different levels. The way you communicate with people, the way that you present your brand online, it's going to definitely make an impact in the way that people receive what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. I like to think about it like this, because this is a big example, and a lot of producers know about this. Think about SoundClick. When you see the people with the VIP page and it's set up nice, you see them as more professional. But when you go to the people who don't have the VIP and they have their beat names like something crazy and it doesn't make sense, and it's like beat 8694312, you're like, all right, I'm not even going to waste my time. It's professionalism, and it doesn't take that much time to actually make it look professional. You just got to put in the effort.
I mean, I think on SoundCloud, when I have my SoundCloud page up, I think I paid $30 to get my page right. Like,
one-time fee.
$30 for a layout. Like, it's not that hard. You know what I mean? It's just putting in that effort. I mean, you want people to see you in the best light possible.
Exactly, and you know, if they're gonna buy from you as well, you want to make their experience as painless as possible. You don't want someone to go on your page and be like, yeah, I was gonna buy an exclusive, but it was just too complicated to get to the checkout and pay for the beat. You can lose sales that way just by not giving them the experience, not making your website user friendly. Things like that are so important.
And it's like we've done webinars on SoundCloud and things like that, and SoundCloud is cool to preview and showcase tracks, but imagine yourself as the artist. You listen to a track on SoundCloud, and because you can't buy the track right then, I've got to email you. I've got to wait for you to email me back. You got to give me a link to a PayPal. I got to pay through PayPal. Then you got to email me the track after I pay through PayPal. That's way too many steps that most people are not willing to go through when they can come to any one of our sites, go through the beats, click the button, click buy now, and then the beat is emailed to them automatically. You got to make it easy for the customer. It's as simple as you can make it. And all those steps, people aren't willing to go through when they don't have to, when they can go on anybody else's page and just buy right then.
Mm-hmm. It's just a part of being professional, having good customer service.
Mm. Yeah.
Other thing for me was, we talked about before, when I took away the free downloads. Getting something else, so you guys might be familiar with the whole No Free Beats movement that happened a number of years ago, and it kind of affected the community in different ways. Like, some people kind of followed suit on that and took away the free downloads, and a lot of people, didn't ever, some people did that for a short period and then again offered the free tag demo downloads later on. But I just recently reinstituted the free downloads, and I can tell you guys that if you're not offering free tag downloads, that you're jeopardizing extra sales that you could be making. So that's a mistake that I've made, and it was based on other things that were going on in the online music community. I took those away because I saw it too. I saw a lot of people taking these tag beats, recording songs, even shooting high-quality videos, having the tags in them, not paying the producer the minimal fee compared to the amount they were paying for the music video, or for what the mixing and mastering and every other thing that went into the process of making that track what it was. So once I recently reinstituted that, I've seen definitely a pretty reasonable increase in sales, and been directly because of having those free downloads. So that's definitely something that I'm going to continue to offer. Just make sure, I would just say again, make sure that you're tagging your instrumentals often, to kind of eliminate people from just taking those and recording over them. But it makes it easier on the artist when they're trying to take that. They don't want to pay up front. They want to experiment with the track and see if they can, how the track's going to turn out and that sort of thing. And first, before they put down any investment, then later come back and buy the untagged beat. So that was a mistake that I made, and I've corrected since, and I've seen, improvements.
Yeah, I mean,
I can. You can go, Chris.
I was just gonna say, just off the back of that, because I remember we had a hangout one time when I was talking about the fact that I made a mistake of putting beats on YouTube, for example, and not tagging them properly, and then people ripping them. So then I was like, I'm just not gonna upload beats anymore. And then you and Brian suggested uploading tagged versions of the beats and just snippets. And as soon as I did it on YouTube, and I did it on SoundCloud, and after a week of just doing it on SoundCloud, I got a beat sale just off the fact that I had a snippet there for people to download and listen to and start to write to, and then once they're ready to buy the track, they can play it. So it definitely does work.
And that ties into being everywhere, taking up real estate on the internet, which we've talked about before. But that's a mistake I see a lot of people. I guess I did make that a while ago, where I was just sticking to certain avenues. And there are going to be primary platforms that you want to stick to. Like, you want to focus on your website and blog. You want to focus on Facebook because so many people are on there, and it's so much easier to engage people on that platform. You may have another social media outlet that you want to focus on. YouTube, you want to focus on YouTube. But don't be afraid to put yourself out there. It might take you a little extra time, but what if somebody's just searching on Reverb Nation for stuff?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not on there, you're missing out on that. And that was, I think we've all made that mistake at one point, not putting ourselves, kind of sticking to certain things. And you may, like I said, you may focus on certain ones. You may focus on YouTube, you may focus on your site and certain platforms, but you still want to make sure that you at least have some sort of a presence on the well-known ones. SoundCloud, for instance. I'm not huge on SoundCloud, but I know it's a PR7. I know it's a PR7 site. I know it's got authority. I know that I've got to have some sort of a presence on that website.
Yeah, I know for me it was like when you just said Reverb Nation. I was on Reverb Nation, and for Chicago, I think I was ranked like number 10, and I fell off of using it when I really got heavy into Facebook marketing, and I realized how I used to sell beats on Reverb Nation all the time. When I stopped focusing on it and I let my page pretty much die on there, my sales went down. Same thing with my Flash Story was Beats One. I still have beats on Beats One. I haven't uploaded beats on there for, I don't know, 7 to 8 months. But I got 4 sales 2 days ago because the beats were there. If I didn't have beats on that site, I wouldn't get those sales. I'm sure we all have beats on multiple sites specifically for that reason, because you never know where you're gonna catch a sale.
I would give a recommendation real quick is figure out like the sites, like we've outlined a lot of these in past webinars. We've outlined the SoundClouds and even SoundClick, even though we don't push it solely, that's an avenue, the website and blog, all the different places you want to be. Set yourself up, I think what would be helpful is set yourself up like a syndication process where when you release a new track, for instance, that you need to upload it to this site and this site and this site, and maybe on some of the secondary sites you just upload snippets or whatever your process is, but set you up kind of like a little system. It's going to take a little bit of time depending on how many sites you're on, but it's going to cover much more real estate on the internet. You're going to have much more potential to make an impact or make an impression on an artist or producer or whatever, and ultimately make the sales.
And also, if we're posting links, it's not always going to be the same site over and over again.
Yeah.
Like, I see that all the time. Like, somebody's My Flash Store link or their same SoundCloud link over and over again. Well, you can honestly, you can post the same beat every day and one link a day on Twitter, but if it's coming from 5 different sites, no one knows. You can post to YouTube, you can post to SoundCloud, you can post to MyFlashStore and your blog 4 different times a week, and it could be to the same exact track. But because people keep seeing a different link, it doesn't look as though you're posting the same thing over and over again.
How easily do you want to be found, really? Do you want to be found on just MyFlashStore? Or if someone types in hip-hop beats and you're ranking pretty good, and you come up under Music Central, BeatStars, Beats One, SoundClick, MyFlashStore, your blog, YouTube, that's so many different. If 7 links come up and it all says produced by so-and-so and it comes up multiple times, they're probably going to be like, all right, I should probably check this dude out. Don't make it harder for them. Again, with customer service, you want to make it easy for them and make it easy for them to find you also.
And keep your name the same.
Yes, professionalism.
Don't have 5 different names all over the internet because people don't know who they're looking for then. Like, I see it all the time. Your name is DJ so-and-so here, and then it's so-and-so beats over here, and you're the same person. Like, get that in order, like, ASAP.
I just want to quickly touch back on the free downloads thing before we go on to the next. I actually sold 3 beats to an artist the other day, and he called me up on the phone, which is another thing you should do. Thank you, Travis, for that. Put your phone number up on the website because they want to talk to you and make sure. He just had a question about checking out, just to make sure like he was doing it right, because he never bought from a beat store like that, HTML one. He's bought from PayPal, but not like that. So I just told him, yeah, just click the buy button and you're good to go. Take you to PayPal. But he told me, yeah, and I just downloaded. I don't have the free download option. I have a 99-cent download. But he's like, yeah, and I went and got like 10 99-cent downloads of the demos, so I can write around and write to them. His exact words, so I can ride around and write to them. So that's potential sales right there. Don't limit them because they have to. Don't make it inconvenient for them. Don't make it harder for them to write to your music because you just want to have it up on your website and you don't want to have the free downloads.
I mean, you made $10 off of demo tracks. Like, there's people who don't make $10 for the month in beat sales. Probably some people watching this haven't made $10 a month off of beat sales, and you gave away 10 demo tracks for somebody who's potentially he's gonna come back and buy. If he bought already, he's gonna come back, and that's the thing.
And I built a relationship with this guy on my mailing list. He was on there for 3 months, so if I wasn't always in his inbox building a relationship, messaging him, he probably would have forgot about me and went to the next person.
And that's the thing. It's all the little things accumulated, man. We said this time and time again, but it's like it still baffles me how the little things add up. You know what I mean? How having them on your list combined with the free download, combined with having your phone number on your site, like it all adds up. And you might not think about it like that, but these little tips, like, take them and apply them. And maybe the one strategy alone won't work for you, but combined with all these other things added up, you're going to see some sort of result. You know, I mean, it's still like going back to being everywhere on the web. And when I go and check my Clicky Analytics or my Google Analytics, my website analytics and blog analytics, how many different places that there's links coming back to my site from? I mean, it's just, and it just takes little steps. You know, it's all a progress. It's all something that you do over time, and you're constantly going to be switching it up and trying new things or course correcting. But it takes these little bitty steps that just accumulate and add up. And once you start to see it and you start to see the result from all these things, like, oh shit, and then you just start adding on that. And before you know it, you know, you're taking up, you know, you've got all these things in place. You're taking up real estate on the internet. You're getting traffic back to your site. And you might not even be running an active paid campaign to get traffic, and you just catch a sale here and there. You got people opting into your list from your YouTube videos, from your blog posts. I mean, it's still, like I said, to me, it's still like kind of, I have to sit down and think about it sometimes, and I'm like, damn, like all this stuff really does add up and makes a huge difference.
Well, it's like they say, like, for success, it's not just doing whatever it is you're doing. It's not just doing the one thing. It's doing all the things. Like, you can't just do, I did a video on marketing. You can't just have a call to action without building a relationship with someone with that post. You have to do all of the things together in order to get it. You can't just put your phone number on your SoundClick without having an automated system, without building a relationship with that client. You need to do all of these things in order to see success. You might get a couple of beat sales by doing that, but you're not going to see enough success without doing all of these things.
The thing is, you don't want a couple beat sales. You want to live. You want to be able to make a living off of this music. Like the things that we're saying, all those little things are you building a business, because that's what this is. This isn't just, we're not hustling beats. I'm sure you don't want to hustle beats. This is a business, and if you treat it like a business, you'll get results like a business does. I mean, people don't, like, if you go on Walmart or you go on Target, it's set up a certain way. They have a system set up a certain way to get you from the produce section through the clothes and out the door to the checkout. It's set. It's the same thing with us. It's the same thing that we're doing. We have all these things set up, and we make it so easy for you to buy something, and make it so easy for artists to buy something so we can get them in, let them get what they want, and get out. It's like you got to start looking at this as a business and not as I'm just trying to sell beats. Like, no, you're trying to run a business. We're all running a business, and every single track that you make, every single drum kit that you make, those are your products, and you got to place them as such. If artists come straight to your site, the first thing they want to see is beats. Like, give them what they want right up front. Let them get in, let them hear what you got, and let them buy. But get that email. When they pop up, hey, as soon as they hit that page, there should be something trying to grab that email address. If you don't have anywhere to opt in on your page, you're missing out on a lot of money.
Yeah. Absolutely.
What? Oh, not shooting videos. A lot. Shooting videos changed everything for me. Like, dead ass. When I wasn't shooting videos, and I'm talking about tutorials, I'm talking about tips, my sales were slow. Once I started shooting videos, I had more things to talk about. I have more people commenting on my videos than pretty much anything. I've sold beats off of videos. It's changed my business 100%, like 100%. Videos work better than ads for me. Like me giving out an artist a tip on how to help their career has made more money for me than any ad I've ever put on Facebook. And it was free.
And videos are way more engaging. When I run my Facebook ads, I don't promote just regular posts and pictures. Lately, I've just been promoting videos because the engagement on there, you can go on my Facebook page. I got like 3 beat making videos running right now. They all have 300 plus likes, like 40 more comments, and 20, 40, 50 shares. They're super engaging, and like you said, me too, they changed my life. I mean, it's content. You need to give constant content. We're not like artists where we can do a day in a life and do interviews and stuff, but if you're not doing those things and giving them content and making videos, again, it's how easily do you want to be found? If you're doing a beat selling tip and you have 30 beat selling tip videos, that's 30 ways for producers to find you. And if you sell drum kits, then they're going to check your page out, and then you can have some drum kit sales. It's anything.
Yeah, and it creates authority as well, because there's not a lot of producers out there actually shooting videos and putting their face on the camera. If most producers who are making videos are just beat videos where they've just got a photo and their beat in the background, and that's it. So it's creating that authority as well, because people can actually see you, and they know who's behind the camera. They know who's behind the beats as well. So in a strange way, they start to build a relationship or build a connection with you just by seeing you on a camera, because it's completely different from receiving an email or just messaging someone on Facebook, for example. You're actually in front of their screen speaking to them, especially when you shoot your video as if you're speaking to one individual. So when they look at that video, they feel as if it's just you, them alone. It's just you and them in the room, and you're speaking to them. you're building that connection as well.
I like that you said that, because if they're on your mailing list and you're shooting videos, they also get to see your personality. They can start be able to put like when you're trying to be professional, you're sending your emails out, but you kind of personalize it to yourself. Like in my emails, I say, "What's poppin', fam?" Like they'll know how I'm saying it too, how I start, and my energy that I give in my videos. They can start piecing that together and build that relationship. So they start, like you said, it makes it more personal. I like that. They know how I'm saying it, not just "What's poppin', fam?" Like, who is this guy? Like,
Right. Yeah, man. I mean,
Travis the king.
like I said,
crushing
video's
us.
king, man. Video's king. Video. That's all I gotta say is video's king, because there's not. First of all, there's not as much competition for it, and a lot of people are reluctant because they're scared to get on camera, and I feel like it's just wasted opportunities, because if you're trying to get to whatever goals and success that you have in mind, everybody has different goals, everybody has different desired outcomes for what they're planning to achieve. But if you're running an online business, you've got to get people involved in what you're doing, whatever it is that you offer, whatever your personality is, and the easiest way to do that is video. Video, because they can get a sense of your personality and who you are, and also because not like you said, there's not other people in our, specifically in the music production and music arena online, they're not shooting video, and so there's less competition. You've got tons of producers, tons of artists, but not everybody's shooting video, and so you've got that leg up there too. It's easier for you to rank for a video in YouTube, for instance, because there aren't as many. It's harder to rank for a blog post in Google because anybody can get in and type an article and do something like that. They're behind the scenes. But it's a lot easier for you to rank for a video in YouTube because there aren't as many out there, even though there are a ton of videos now on YouTube. In comparison to the World Wide Web as a whole, YouTube is only a small portion of that.
And I mean, like, think about it like this: if you were to go on YouTube right now and type, you guys are watching this video to learn how to sell your beats. If you were to type in how to sell beats, I guarantee one of the four of us is going to pop up on that first page. And you can think of all the videos that are on YouTube, but specifically for what we do, one of us is going to pop up on that first page, and that gives us authority. So when you see us on that first page, you see, okay, you watch our YouTube videos, and you see, okay, they know what they're talking about. There's not that many people doing what we do.
And Zig Ziglar says it like you should be giving tips, you should be helping people, because that's going to help your business more. And Zig Ziglar said, you can have anything you want in life if you would just help other people.
Yep.
Chuck, you get paid. You get paid based on the upfront value that you give. You know, that's
beats just aren't enough value anymore. What else do you have?
What else do you have to offer? I mean,
Right.
and that's literally what it is. Like when it comes to artists, what else do you have to offer me other than beats? Because they can get beats from. There's probably 300,000 producers on SoundClick alone. They can get beats from any of those people, and they can get them from anywhere from $1 to $25 or more. So you gotta give them. If somebody's selling beats for $1, how do you compete with that? You compete with that by giving value to the community. You compete with that. If they know that I'm gonna work with Travis because Travis is gonna sell me beats, okay, fine. But Travis is gonna show me how to get my music heard. Travis has an outlet for me to get my music posted. Travis has a following. He has all these things in place that can help me become a better artist or get me more known. Well, the guy selling beats for $1 doesn't have anything other than beats for $1. Guess what? It's not worth it for me to mess with him because he doesn't have anything else to offer me other than just selling me a beat.
Let me address, while we're on this topic real quick, let me address the folks that say, you know, if I've got dope music, then that's enough, right? I've got dope music. Now, I will say you got to have dope music because dope music is definitely, your instrumental catalog that you have is definitely going to attract people in. However, if people don't know about you, if people don't have access, know how to get to your website, if they don't see you, because video is so engaging, that's why we stress it. there's other benefits to that. But if you got dope beats and you know you've got dope beats, you got to engage people. You got to bring people into what it is that you're offering. If they see you have good music, then it's going to be an easy sale. It's not going to be a tough sale. And if you've got them in your email stream, you're going to be able to follow up with them. And that's one of the things that kind of bothers me a little bit, because dope music it has to be there. You have to have good music, but that's not enough. Dope music isn't enough.
I can speak personally. I had banging beats for years, but it wasn't until I actually figured out, hey, you know what? I need to start networking. I need to start getting people. I got thousands of beats on my hard drive. It doesn't do anything to sit on my hard drive if nobody can hear them. So if you got 1,000 dope beats and you know you're a dope producer, but you're watching this webinar, it's because you're trying to get people to see or to hear those beats. Because guess what? Even though you got dope beats, and if they're not listening to them because they can't find you, and we want them to find you, we need to start shooting video. You need to start promoting video. Start shooting video, because I mean we're all shooting video and we're all getting sales.
It's fun to see where. Like I literally, it kind of fuels me to kind of figure out, you know, if I get a phone call one day and I talk to somebody on the phone and say, hey, you know, talk to an artist or whatever, he's looking for tracks, he saw one of my tracks. Like, I'm always curious to see, like, where did you find my track? Was it a YouTube? Did you find me on, like, I've had people hit me up for Reverb Nation, just random places, and it's kind of this, like, anticipation. A sale comes in. Okay, what sale is this from? Is this from a SoundKit? Is this from a beat sale? Where did the beat sale come from? Was it specifically from SoundClick? Was it from some other third-party site? Was it from our Beat Brokers or BeatStars? And it all adds up, and it's just, I enjoy that. I enjoy just being everywhere and just kind of, you never really know where a sale's going to come in. You never know really where somebody's going to hit you up. Somebody may find your contact on, like I said, on SoundClick, or, you know, it's just, I don't know. I love that. I love that. I mean, that feeling of not really knowing where a sale's going to come in or a contact's going to come in. Is like, I just put myself out there. It's like at any given time somebody could hit me up from all these different channels, and it's a good feeling.
I mean, we're all from different places. We all know each other because of a YouTube video, like literally. Like, we know each other because we've never been to where each other lives at. Like, it's not like I was walking on the street and ran into Travis at a show or some shit. That's not how we met. We met from videos, and like, that's how it works. I mean, like, that's how you're gonna build that relationship. It works a lot faster when you shoot those videos, man. Like, I love YouTube.
Me too. Like, yeah, so going back to the dope music and getting engagement and having videos on your page, again, you might have dope music, but if they come to your page and all they see is check out my new song, check out my new song, check out my new song, they're going to associate with spam. But if you have other things, they see you have a video, they're going to be like, all right, this dude's just not spam, so I'm actually going to check out this video. And if they like what you're saying, and you're saying something, they're like, all right, let me check out this song, because this dude's actually pretty dope. He's very genuine in what he's doing. Let me see what he's working with. And if you have dope music, then it'll work for you. It's just more engaging, and it'll make people not see you as spam.
You know what's crazy is I don't know if you guys ever heard this story. On the OK Player website. Now, Phonte said he used to be on there all the time, and there used to be a guy on there. Always, every time he would post something, he would comment and he would say something. And he said he used to like the guy's comments. So he asked him if he had a YouTube page, because he said he was a producer, and he was like, yeah. So he sent him to his YouTube page, and he liked his beats. The producer was Nicolay. That's how they met. They met in a forum.
No way. I never heard that story.
Yeah, that's how they met.
That's dope.
He was in a forum, and Nicolay used to comment like, oh, his tracks ain't all that, his tracks ain't all this, or it's messed up here. And Phonte asked him, well, let me hear something from you. And he sent him to his YouTube page. And when he's heard his beats, that's how they linked up, from him going to his page.
That's dope.
Years later, a Grammy nomination later, you know what I mean? Like, that's how you get, you know what I mean? That's how you, I mean, that it's just, it's from being on YouTube, man.
That's the
Oh,
birth
you
of
never
Party
heard
Man.
that story, man.
That's crazy. And like Travis said, it's fun to see where people come from.
It
Every time
definitely is.
I get that AWeber newsletter signed up every day, however many there are, I love to check out. They set it up awesome now where they tell you where it came from and everything. You don't have to go and check the analytics. But
Yeah.
in the email it says, I had a guy, he joined from Germany, from a beat making page on my blog, and then the next one was from a landing page on Facebook. Like, it's crazy to see where all the different pages that people are coming from and where they're finding me and how they're signing in and where they're opting in.
That's because you're taking up real estate
Mm.
on the internet. Like we talk about these things so much because we're trying to get it in your head that these are the things that it takes. Like if you're everywhere,
Yeah.
the people that are looking for you can find you, and the people you're looking for are people who want to listen to your music.
And again, it's all of these things. It's doing all of these things. There's a lot of people out there that say, oh, yeah, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. It's because they're doing one thing and expecting all the results. But it's really a compilation of all these things put together.
Yeah,
That's why we keep...
The natural progression is you have to focus on certain ones at a time. You can't do it all at once, but it might be tough to see those results just from doing one little strategy or one little thing. You know, it's kind of the accumulation of everything that's really going to allow you to do it.
Mm-hmm. And some
Alright.
things will work, yeah, some things will work better than others as well, so for different people as well.
Did you guys have any other mistakes that you want to talk about?
I think the last thing, I think the only one we have left is not actively pursuing artists. Like, you got to get out there and talk to people. I don't care if it's online or offline. You need to get out there and start interacting with artists because that's who your market is. It's
When
one
you
thing. Go ahead.
when you get famous, you're going to have to talk to people. So if your beats do blow up and you're too afraid to talk to anyone, what's going to happen? You're going to fall off real quick because you're not going to come out of your little cubby. You need to go out and talk to people. I made my first beat sale within the first 2 weeks of joining the GTS movement, pardon me, because I was messaging artists because that's what you guys told me to do. That's how it started. The beat sale that I just said where the dude bought the 10 demo downloads, that's how I got him to sign up on my list. I was talking to him. I was actively pursuing artists. It works. You just need to get out there and do it. Don't be afraid. It gets easier as you do it, but you need to do it.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I definitely, this was a big mistake for me because the video content I kind of learned, I think I started doing 2008, 2009, but I kind of learned that, you know, putting out video content was a way I was going to attract people in, okay? So whatever means, I wasn't uploading videos as consistently as I am now, but I knew that was going to be a way I was going to bring people in. At the time, one of my big things was I was wanting to get enough subscribers and enough views to actually make a significant income from AdSense. I was like, I know if I get content out here, it's going to allow people to come into my business, but at the same time, I want to build this up where I can, you know, make a decent money with the AdSense. I want to have a nice part-time income off of that money. But one of the things that I didn't do early on was actually follow up, like when I would make a sale, for instance. Like following up with those people. Hey, is there anything else I can do for you? And like continuing to build on top of that. Now they still might be in my email stream and they still may receive emails from me and I still may, you know, but it's a little different when you send a personal email thanking them specifically for what, if there's anything else they can do. And really just that, and that goes to social media too. You know, following up with people. I know artists that I work with recently, had I not followed up with them and reached out after the fact, I wouldn't have gotten the tracks that I got with them. I wouldn't have gotten these collaborations and things. Just recently, I got some other things that were kind of cool that kind of unfolded for me that were all on me because I actively pursued these relationships and I made the point to contact the people and talk to them and don't underestimate that because like I said, I was looking at it like I was only focused on the attraction part, which is a lot of it. You can attract people in with the videos and posting and that thing, but you also want to have those intimate relationships. You want to. We're humans. We want to be what was it Gary Vaynerchuk said? We want to be like what did he say? I just saw something recently from him. We can get into mentors probably here in a minute. Gary Vaynerchuk's a big marketing mentor of mine. Social media, as far as social media presence and marketing in the year that we live in. I mean, he's one of my primary guys that I follow on YouTube and follow his books and anything that he releases. But he was talking about somebody like messaging him on social media. He said he gets hit up by like say 10 to 15 nonprofits on Twitter a day, just asking for a donation, and they didn't even like say hello. They didn't even say hello. They just said, "Hey, can you make a donation?" Like, he's big on relationships. Actually, I want to talk about something real quick that I heard from him. He talked about. He was trying to land. He runs right now. He runs a media company. If you don't know Gary Vaynerchuk, I would just say just research him. Again, he's big on social media marketing. Marketing in the year that we live in, and marketing natively on the platforms, Facebook, social media, Twitter, Pinterest. There's different ways to market on those particular platforms. But he's got this big marketing, media company, and he does work with like Fortune 500, 200, and 100 companies. So he works with kind of a combination of big name companies and helping them boost their marketing specifically on social media. And there was a specific company that he was trying to get a deal with, and in the way that he got into one of the he knew the executive he had to talk to. It was a CEO or some sort of administrator that he was going to have to actually talk to on this particular deal. What he did was he followed him on Twitter. He found out what the guy was actually genuinely interested in. He ended up sparking a conversation on Twitter about some sort of sports team that the guy was interested in, right? Didn't mention anything about business, nothing like that. Just hit him up, was looking at his tweets, hit him up, started having conversations back and forth on Twitter. What do you know? The guy eventually goes to his profile, sees, and ended up landing a deal that he had targeted specifically, but didn't talk about business. He just found out what the person was interested in and started kindling the relationship that way. So you have to keep in mind the other person's point of view. People don't care about what you're offering. People don't care. So be genuine. Talk to people like they're human beings first. Business comes later.
It's funny that you said that, because I tell people when they do that messaging strategy that we teach, I tell them go on the person's page and see what their interests are, see what they like, because when you send that message and you mention something on their page that caught your attention, they say, oh, he actually looked at my page, he actually did some researches. They think, oh, he's interested in me because he knows something that I like, or he commented on something that was on my page. And that goes a long way, because when you send a message and you're sending a message out and it doesn't have anything personal in the message, people think it's spam specifically because of that reason, because you didn't make it personal.
And we're not saying to be fake in that either. Like, be genuine. Like, be like seriously, be genuine. When you're messaging people and you want to talk about something that they're interested in, be genuine about talking about that. It doesn't have to be something fake and just forced because you're trying to eventually get a sale. Like, just be genuine in talking to people, building relationships, and things will unfold. I've seen it happen, and like hearing this story from Gary Vaynerchuk, it just was like, this is it. Like, you.
I mean, in all honesty, who do you want to sell beats to? Like, do you want to work with people that you don't like, or do you want to work with people that you genuinely like being around? Like, if I didn't like these three people on this panel, I would not be on this panel. Like, genuinely, I like talking to them off the camera. Like, we all get along. It could be something completely different. You know what I mean? So you want to actually work with people that you like, because it makes it a whole lot easier. And
people can see through the crap. So if you're not being genuine, they'll know. If we didn't all get along, people would know. They would feel the energy. You can feel it. Yeah. And as far as talking, if salesmen, salesmen wouldn't make sales if they didn't talk, right? If they didn't build a relationship and show that they actually cared. Like, if a salesman calls you, you're like, all right, dude, trying to sell me something. I don't give a shit. I don't care. But if he starts talking to you and he actually shows that he cares and he's trying to help you, you're probably going to buy from him. So be genuine when you do it. Talk to them and build a relationship with them. It's not about making a sale. It's about building a relationship with them, and if you do that, then you'll make sales.
Mm.
Yep.
That was a big mistake for me, like I said, was the not actively pursuing those relationships early on. And since, I've seen drastic improvements. So.
That's what's up. So, Chris, you guys want to talk about the mentors that you guys follow?
Yeah, sure. So, a couple of the mentors I follow. One of the mentors I follow is Eric Thomas. If you don't know about him, you might have seen his video on YouTube. He says, oh, what does he say now? Anyway, it's called the video's called the Secret to Success, and basically he says how bad do you want to succeed?
He says
Yeah.
if you gotta wanna breathe. God, what does he say? You gotta want success as bad as you want to breathe. There we go.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be
successful. Exactly. That's what I was trying to get out. But for me, the reason why he's one of my mentors is he's had that video on for quite a while, and it took him so long for that video to actually. I think he had, when he first uploaded it, he had about 20 or 50 plays on it, but it took him a while to actually blow up and for people to actually start taking him seriously and listening to his stuff. And for me, what's really hit home with him is he's got these mixtapes that he's got out, and he calls himself the hip hop preacher, because on these mixtapes he's not actually rapping or anything like that, but it's actually snippets from different talks that he's done, and some of them are over beats and things like that. So I've got them on my iPhone. I listen to them on my way to work and things like that. And he's just one of those motivational speakers that he's got so much energy that he just speaks life into you. I've got his first book as well that I read, which talks about his story, about him being homeless at one point and dropping out of school and now having a PhD and making crazy money just speaking and motivating people. And he's also got this video series that he puts out called TGIM. So, most people have 9 to 5s and they're like, I can't wait for Friday. And when Friday comes around, they post TGIF, thank God it's Friday and stuff like that. But he actually had a video series, or has a video series called TGIM, thank God it's Monday, where he posts a video every Monday to motivate people, to make people look forward to the week. So rather than waking up on Monday and thinking, oh, I've got another long week of working and things like that, but actually looking forward to getting the weeks popping, being productive, making stuff happen. So he's one of the mentors that's really inspired me. I've got Les Brown as well. I just love his talks. They're very entertaining. There's a lot of comedy in it as well, which is really important to me. It keeps me entertained at the same time as him telling stories and also inspiring me. Who else have I got? In terms of from a marketing perspective, obviously we've spoken about the mistakes and things like that, and I think one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people in music do, especially independent artists, is not investing in their education and not getting the right education and taking things seriously. For me, in terms of marketing and actually doing this thing correctly, a guy called Lawrence Tam, he's part of Empower Network, which I used. Obviously, we all use their marketing products. He not only inspires me in terms of how to market, but his story is he used to do a 9 to 5. He was an engineer, used to work in a cubicle. He used to do his own business part-time, and he actually made that transition from working full-time and doing his business part-time to being able to do his business full-time now. So that's one of my mentors and inspirations as well, because that's exactly what I'm working on at the moment as well. So yeah, those are a few of my mentors at the moment.
That's what's up.
Yeah, man. I'll go ahead. Like I've mentioned many times before, Gary Vaynerchuk, as far as marketing is concerned, social media marketing, marketing in the world in which we currently live. Check him out. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's posting stuff consistently. Go get his book. I'm not making any money off of it. Jab, 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 right hook. Native ads we've talked about in a couple webinars ago. That ties in with that. I like his personality. Some people might not like his personality. He's very high energy. He drops the F-bomb a lot, which I mean, some people might be turned off from, but he's very just open. All his interviews, he doesn't like censor anything. He's just kind of himself. He's a Jersey guy, and just some people call him like loud and obnoxious, but I just like he gets his point across, and I like the way that he kind of presents and teaches. Now, one thing I'll say is like we all, like I've talked to the guys about before, is we all are different. We all have different personalities, and we maybe market a little bit differently, or we run our businesses a little bit differently, or we make slightly different kind of beats. You know, we're all individuals. Everybody is going to be a little bit different than the next person and operate their business a little bit differently. So what I would say is, you know, when you're looking for mentors, whether they're mentors you study from afar or actually people that you interact with, kind of like we're interacting right now, just pick people and pick things that speak to you. You know, just because I say this is the people that I'm studying doesn't mean that's what you have to go after. But like for me, I'm going to mention a couple more names here in just a second, but I've just pulled little tidbits from so many different people. I mean, really, whether it's marketers, entrepreneurs, music producers, and artists, you know, just what business owners, like anybody, I've just pulled little pieces and just kind of applied it. Like, oh, this could be something that and you might not see it the same way. You know, you may not see this. It may not grab you. Something that somebody says or the way that they present, it might not be for you. So just find people when you're looking for mentors and you're looking for that kind of information. Just look for people that really kind of speak to you and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. But again, Gary Vaynerchuk, Seth Godin, we've talked about before. I mean, our whole permission marketing, email marketing, is virtually based on his book. I mean, permission marketing, that's the book that you wanna check out. Seth Godin, Permission Marketing. He also has another book. It's called Purple Cow. Talks about being remarkable. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Was having like this being able to spread your brand and what you're doing by word of mouth. It's like if you were out in a field and you were out in rural country and you had all these fields to the right of you and you're going by and you see cows and pastures and all that stuff, and then you see a purple cow, right? A purple cow out in the field. That's something that you're definitely going to be telling your friends about, right? You're definitely, oh, we were out there, I saw a purple cow, man. So that's being remarkable. It ties in with your business. Like, what can you do that's a little bit differently than the next person that stands out, that's cutting through the clutter, tying back in with Gary Vaynerchuk's. I mean, it all kind of coincides. They all come from slightly different backgrounds, but these are the two that I still study heavily. These are Gary Vaynerchuk, Seth Godin. I have their audios in rotation. I have their books that I'm constantly reading. I'm kind of like cycle them, and it may change. You know, it's all a natural progression. So maybe 6 months from now or a couple months from now, I may be heavy on somebody else just because I feel like I've grasped what's being said here. But just currently, those two, personal development. Tony Robbins is a powerhouse. He's influenced so many people. We talked about this a little bit in the last webinar, but Tony Robbins is. You know, Waking a Giant Within, I've got that audio still playing. There's a number of other ones. Again, these are just the ones that stick out to me right now because this is what I'm currently heavy on. And then we talked about Ryan Leslie. As far as producer, if you're a producer or an artist or anybody in the music community, follow this guy and note every step and move that he's making. He's independent. He's not signed to a major, but he's making major moves. You know, he was like one of the first. I mean, he's like one of the first big names to really put a phone number out there for people to contact him. I guess prior to whatever the big what was the Mike Jones? With the, you know what I mean? But he's actually interacting with his fans. He understands the importance of having that relationship. He's cut iTunes out. His recent project is being distributed through his own proprietary app or whatever he's created. So he has that relationship. He can connect with his fans and customers. Yeah, so these are the names that come to mind. There's, again, a slew of other people. I've pulled tips from numerous SoundClick producers years ago. I've pulled tips from other marketers we follow. Kush, you'll probably touch on some of the other people that I follow also. But, you know, just like I said, figure out what your goals are. You got to start with that. You got to figure out what you're planning to accomplish, and then just figure out who you can bring in, what information you can take in that's going to help you get there in the most expeditious fashion.
Yeah, man, you guys. I mean, we all closely talk to each other, so I mean, we follow a lot of the same people. A lot of Travis's, a lot of Brian's, a lot of Chris's mentors are also my mentors. So honestly, everybody they say is my mentor too. Like I cannot exclude any of them. All of them are my mentors in a certain way. They do a certain thing for me. As far as producer from inspiration, like how he talks, how he holds himself, and the tips that he gives on the industry, also I would say Pharrell. I watch a lot of his interviews, and just the way he holds himself, he motivates me a lot in with what he does and how versatile he is as a producer. He's very inspiring that way. As far as a marketing standpoint, someone that I've been following recently a lot lately is Ryan Dice. He has a lot of good stuff on social medias, on email marketing, and all that stuff. So alongside with the Tony Robbins and all those people, I also follow Ryan Dice a lot too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eric Thomas. I'm heavy on Eric Thomas. I got all the mixtapes. I watch all the TGIM. So that's another guy that's up there for me too if I had to pick.
That's what's up. I know for me, everybody knows my number one is Frank Kern, man. I follow him with a passion. It's like a stalker.
He's a powerhouse.
Really is.
It's the business thing. To be honest with you, I like his personality. He's like a frat brother. He's like an older frat brother. He's just cool, and the way that he speaks, he breaks it down so simple for me to get as far as my business is concerned, and that's who I probably follow the most. And it goes from how to get a sale to how to do webinars, how to consult, like all the things that I need for my business to work. He speaks on, and they all do that same thing. It's just for me, he speaks to me probably more than anyone else. Also, it's a guy, Derek Halpern. He has a site called Social Triggers, and I get a lot of my stuff for emailing and stuff like that from that site. He's kind of a cornball to me, like as far as his personality, but what he's saying, it works. It's true.
I'll interject real quickly. Yeah, follow him because he's another one I didn't mention, but Derek Halpern is kind of a cornball in certain areas. But what he's saying is fact. He does his homework. He's bringing you case studies to back up what he's talking about. Like he's
thorough. Like it's not if he says something, he's gonna give you 18 facts that he did to prove that he's telling the truth. As far as music goes, Dame Dash. I love Dame Dash videos, man. I can watch them all day. Like I don't know if it's because it's like a kind of an arrogance, but he's right. You know what I mean? It's like I'm the type of person like when I was a kid, like my father used to just tell it like it is. There was no beating around the bush with my father, so it's like I expect people when they come at me to just be like, look, don't beat around the bush, just tell me exactly what it is. And however it comes out, that's how I was meant to hear it. You know what I mean? If it's abrasive, well, it's abrasive, but I got the point. You know what I mean? And that's how Dame is for me, man. It's just
the thing with all those people like that we mentioned is I think this is the reason why I love all of them is because they're passionate about what they're saying. It's not that you said they're very high energy. I think they're just super passionate about what they say, and we can all relate because we're very passionate about what we do, and we know how they feel, and it makes us feel the same way when we watch it, and we internalize what they say better because they're so passionate about what they say. So you have to pick a mentor that makes you feel their passion, basically, when they say it.
I mean, like it goes from the you know, these people that we're talking about, they're millionaires. You know what I mean? And that's one thing. It's because we want to learn from the people who are where we want to be at. Okay, so that's basically why we put this together for mistakes and mentors, because we all the mistakes that we mentioned, we all made those mistakes, and we still make mistakes right now. Like, I don't want you to think that everything we do is perfect. We still make mistakes on a daily basis, but because we're following these other people, we're grinding towards success. It's because we're looking at these other mentors, these people who know more than us, and we're learning from them. But that's on the big level. But even on a smaller scale, in our group, personally, I learned from something. We literally sat for about 40 minutes before this webinar started and told each other what strategies we were using online in the last week that we were using. And it's like, I took something from Chris, I took something from Travis, I took something from Chaz, because all these little things are going to help me build my business better. And that's what it's about. Is like, I'm inspired by the people that I hang out with every single day online, just like I'm inspired by the people that I watch and whose email list I'm on and whose products I buy. It's not a difference. It's not as if Frank Kern's up here and we're all down here. In my head, is I can take little pieces from everybody's strategies and make them my own and build my business upon whatever I'm learning from whoever I'm learning it from. And that's kind of what you want to do. It's not a be-all, end-all. It's not just follow one person and just do what they do. It's whatever resonates with you, take it and use it.
Yeah.
Crazy. You guys got anything else to say? Anything you guys want to touch on before we break out? We've been on for a minute.
I
didn't think it was going to go this long, to be honest with you.
Before we were talking about the mistakes, and I just said I've made so many damn mistakes that I continue to make mistakes, and that's just a natural progression. It's fail your way to success. That's the slogan right there. It's like, these are just some of the ones we've highlighted that really stuck out to us. Like, I can't even recap all of it hurt my brain trying to think of all the mistakes that I've made in the past years. So I just say that, just know that you're going to make mistakes, and just constantly be plugging into mentors and people that are going to help you, you know, get the positive results and make the corrections and do what it takes to acquire whatever your outcome is.
Literally,
go ahead.
He literally hurt his brain. He's like, yo, what do you mean? What do we have to talk about? He literally hurt his brain before this webinar.
I can't think of all of them. I know I made so many damn mistakes. I don't know. But like I said, we've highlighted a lot of the big ones, and then we see other people making also. So I think we've been on here for a minute. I think we've covered enough. I can make a 48-hour webinar on mistakes.
Just learning from them. Don't just make a mistake and don't learn from it.
Yeah.
Because then it's not a mistake necessarily.
That's
the
why
learning experience.
Every producer has to learn to sell beats. Is you have to have mistakes and you have to have mentors. You got to have mistakes so you know, okay, this isn't going to work and this is what I shouldn't be doing. And you need the mentor there to be like, okay, he has what I want. Now I know what I'm shooting for. I know some strategies I can use from him to get to where I want to. And that's what it is, man. It's failing your way to success.
Failing forward.
Yep. All right, man. We're about to wrap this up. Before we bounce, if you guys got any value from this, if you guys want to link up with us and get down with GTS, there's going to be a link below this video. I want you to click that link. I want you to see what we have to offer with GTS. I want to see you on the next panel. I want you to be on the next panel with us. Other than that, it's your boy B Kush Beats. I'm out.
Travis with T Customs Productions. We covered a lot in this. It did go on a lot longer than I originally anticipated. But take from it what you will, with whatever resonated with you. You know, take it, run with it. There'll be a link below. You can lock arms and find out more of how to get that progress, get that success.
It's your boy KC. Again, a pleasure to be here. And I just wish there was a webinar like this that I could watch when I first started. So if you're new, or even if you're not new, if you're not seeing results, apply these, because a lot of these things you're probably doing. So once again, it's your boy. Happy to be here. Everybody have a great day.
Bernardus Crisio, yeah, I mean, you know, you've got to make mistakes, but at the same time, the reason why you need to get with us is because you won't need to make the same mistakes we've made, and you can fast track your progress. So, you know, I hope you've got some value from this. I hope you're inspired to actually start taking more risks and making mistakes to get to where you want to get. But yeah, click the button, get with us, and let's move forward.
That's what's up. GTS Movement. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.